clock winds back to the start of the journey to Penacony. The Astral Express, upon invitation from the Watchmaker, heads to a cosmic vacation spot. A grand struggle for a legacy begins. Numerous factions enter a confrontation between the emanator of the Nihility, Acheron, and IPC representative. The Express crew thus delves into the heart of the situation. To fulfill the wishes of their predecessors, the future of Penacony remains uncertain. However, in the very end, Sparkle makes a grand return with a startling bomb show. This crisis is ultimately resolved amid spectacle.
I didn't get a... I looked in the mirror. Huh? I appreciate... Actually, before you came, you better...
A day of peaceful repose. Banish your fears.
We're in trouble now. 1,000. Fight as one!
Is that it?
This will watch over you and guide you on your path.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
1,000 thanks. Conflict is pitiless.
Naughty child. Now time.
A doubt farewell.
New time.
commend it. When faced with an army,
Time. Huh? Everything is. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing. 1,000 wonders to raise your spirit. Fight as one.
there's no time here. It's thunder. Show no mercy.
Time. Seize the moment.
Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless.
Nap time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Saving me won't earn me a favor.
Here is thunder.
Naughty child. That's better.
1,000
Let's be.
thanks.
Oh, let's see.
Thank you. I know having someone by my side calms me. Don't worry, it's nothing.
Want to play a game? Oh, I have plenty to do. As I chat here with you on the Express. You all? Why don't you...
The conduct.
Amphorius, the Eternal Land.
Yeah, that's what Miss Black Swan said. It's a world hidden away from... You haven't been with us on the Express very long. Will the journey... Huh?
We should consider Pom-Pom's opinion, too. They don't know we're considering Amphorius as a destination.
Yeah. Plus, even if we pass Amphorius over, we've still got a fuel problem to solve.
In other words, we won't be leaving Penacony any...
Or we could also revisit our previous stops to make sure that the astral charts and
Creating chaos is also a means of maintaining social stability, if you ask me.
If you have the time for mindless gossip, you're probably better off spending it on getting actual work done.
They say this is all part of ongoing investigations. But is there even any point to doing this? The threat's long been neutralized. I mean, look at us. This sudden surge in inter-family cooperative efforts.
Sounds like you've got insider intel. Now I'm curious. Are the stories going around true? Was the Fuhrer that broke...
Those are some difficult questions. Didn't I just say that creating chaos is also... Who knows who's been fanning the flames? But there are a dozen rumors going around out there, each one more outlandish.
Oh, I've heard those. Conspiracy theories about how the IPC had orchestrated everything and... what was it again?
Oh, the truth has probably been long buried under all the hearsay. All I can say for sure.
You mean the former Oak family head?
Bingo. Most of the blame was pinned on him when the Charmony Festival was abruptly cancelled. Since then, not a single soul's seen him. Heck, forget his whereabouts. Nobody even knows if he's still alive. Talk about scary. For all we know, we might have...
I've heard another theory about that family head. I beg your pardon, sirs. Dreamweavers are carrying out inspections on the routes around here, and all affected facilities have been closed off.
What happened? Is this because of the Stellaron? Jeez, are we Penaconians never gonna dream in peace again?
There is no cause for alarm, sir. The Stellaron has already been sealed. This is just a... Please rest assured that the family will...
I see. We'll leave the two of you to your work.
Excuse me, sir. Have we met before?
Oh. Do you recall when or where we might have met?
My bad. I must be mistaken. Sorry about that. Sweet.
You sure have a knack for stirring up trouble. Of all the routes available, you...
We shouldn't run into any problems with you around. Even if they see through the Harmony's power of disguise.
Spare a thought for me, will you? Just being in your company is plenty enough to get me into trouble.
And that is exactly why I need you with me. You're the only...
The only one you can What about her?
At least, she was spared from the consequences of my...
What a shame, huh?
Why do you say that?
Just thought that being mean might be more effective than consoling you. I've seen plenty like you. Eager for everyone to take you to task after a setback because that's the only way you'll feel better. As though the more they... That said, if I'd really wanted to hit you where it hurts, I'd use a different approach.
You're right.
She should still be in Penacony. Aren't you going to...
That won't be necessary. I'm sure you already know why. Considering your vested interest, I can't bring myself to see her when I'm...
All right, then let's keep going. Helping a fugitive return to their home. So exciting.
I see two bloodhounds. They appear to be on official business, unlike the pair from earlier. What's happening at Ideen?
Hey! Hey! Hey, Kate!
My apologies.
Remind me, why do I have...
We've been through this. Besides, we once lived a cat-and-dog existence. Embroiling you in my...
You certainly don't have much of one if you can bring yourself to...
Yet you will repay this favor all the same. After all...
Holy moly!
When you were abandoned in the wild and near your end, I showed you when you were at your wit's end and felt lost about your future. I didn't...
Okay, I get it already. You have a way with words, I'll give you that. I don't understand. Why are you hell-bent on going back to Penacony? Did they make you a deal? You can have your freedom back, but in return you...
Regrettably, Lady Bonajade didn't drop so much as...
Go now. You are free, O Chosen One, who dared to exceed his vow. As I mentioned earlier, it's a trade, and you don't have to give me an answer right now.
She only left me with a most intriguing message before setting me free. I'll only know when I find out.
But nothing good.
I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. For now, there's still some time before that payment is due. So why not exercise?
By walking
Or by when it's time to go. This will be farewell for good. So, before I leave...
Can't you just look back?
There's something else I want to do, too. The embryo of philosophy may have fallen, but the order in Penacony wasn't built in a day. This...
Get off your high horse. The other forfeit...
I might have gone astray, but others shouldn't have to clean up after...
Then you should also know that the IPC isn't gonna help you a second time. If you fall into...
You know how it is. Old habit. The tie should be on the center line. The shirt must not protrude from the vest. The same applies when bidding my home farewell.
But what has Ideen Park got to do with you? Don't tell me that the Founder's one of your disguises.
I'm not that old.
Oh, come on.
That sounds familiar.
What? Mr. 1 Week. Please excuse me, I should have recognized you earlier.
I want to know what's going on in there. You'll tell me.
There's nothing much to say, actually.
Aftermath.
You are?
Renowned workaholic, Mr. Workday. He works for me.
Oh, I see. Coming back to the topic of the park, let's just say that
What happens if you violate the prohibitions?
it's baffling, but corrective measures will be taken.
Yeah, that works. Can you keep watch over the entrance? We'll go in and have a...
Please take these notes with you.
You shouldn't have said that just now. It'll only make us look suspicious.
Said what?
Mr. Workday?
I was just telling the truth. I've always found this name to be more suitable for you. So, why are we here? You managed this park before?
You could say that. I was still a child back then. To become the bronze Melodia of the Oak family, I'd gone under Mr. Gopherwood's tutel. We were taking a walk in the park like any other day, when he suddenly hit on the idea to have me manage the park. Within the domain he demarcated, my every word would hold. In hindsight, that was probably the first time that I enforced order.
You rose through the ranks soon after. I take it that you must have done a pretty...
Quite the contrary. I made a terrible mess of things.
Was that his way of training?
Perhaps he was just using an approach with lighter consequences to show me what he'd learned in life. That there is never an ideal paradigm when it comes to rules. If the enforcer is incapable of introspection, then even regulations once laid down with the noblest of intentions will eventually become defiled. This place is no exception. The distorted after...
Let's see what we have on these notes. No consumption of food except for burgers. What? No consumption of food other than burgers, especially...
I have nothing against desserts. The only reason I made that rule is so that people can learn to wait in line in an orderly manner.
What happens if I...
It's as the Bloodhound said.
Huh.
Wait, don't... That's odd.
Didn't I tell ya? The family can take you. Next on the list is the stage. Let's go and check it out. Only cast and crew members are allowed on the stage.
And an easy one to test. Neither of us is part of the cast.
Huh?
Let's try that again.
What's going on?
Guide those who have lost their way back onto the right path. Looks like this is an example of the...
You've been iron-fisted. Wait a sec. If this is how...
I tried to warn you. How do you feel?
Now?
In any case, say what you will, but I can't sit by and do nothing. Not when I'm the cause of all this trouble and...
What's the plan?
Nothing complicated. All distortions have their roots. When a distorted app, then I'll use the power.
So, can I take it that rules are meant to be broken now? Do not discard... This...
Children tend to be fast.
Forget it. I don't even know. Something's happening. What is?
We're not breaking enough rules. We should look elsewhere, too.
Please do not use Soul Glad bottle caps that Dream Jolt Troop wear. Please do not the Dream Jolt Troop wear. Oh, there it is. Found a good hiding spot, didn't ya?
Just one moment.
Let me translate that.
I'm afraid you're going to have to handle...
Handle this? Wait, is that...
May I remind you that I am current...
Whew. Luck's on our side. Shall we give this capsule machine a try and see what happens? Nothing's off so far. Maybe we should open the capsule? They can't be serious. No.
Farewell. There's no time to conflict. It's pitiless. Show no mercy.
I expend freely. Watch your head. Heard the call. Dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Serenity is before me.
Here, there's thunder.
All in.
Attack detected. Attack detected. Set. Detonate.
Like until everything burns to ashes!
This mortal...
Watch over you. Guide you on your path.
Fight to live! Set the seas ablaze!
Is that it?
Watch your head.
Show no mercy.
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Conflict is pitiless.
Fight to live!
Show no mercy.
Watch over you. Guide you on your path.
Did they have to do that? They could have just recalled the capsule.
Perhaps making the attractions no longer just attractions is another corrective measure?
Aren't the rules being too finicky with...
Enough. The location of the distortion is nearby.
There it is.
Time for it to disappear. Reveal thyself unto me, as is customary. All
Whoa, it worked. The IPC totally should have sent someone to keep an eye on you. Aren't they worried that you might make a comeback?
So long as there remains a need for me to keep a low profile.
That's true. Come to think of it, you had always been in the spotlight, be it as a respected member of the elite.
Sometime before I turned 6. Like most...
That was sarcasm, in case you didn't realize. But...
You never forget times of failure.
You're probably the only one. What is it this time?
Just looking back.
But nothing's there.
That's the whole point of revisiting a place. When I look at everything here, the memories when the younger me tasted failure here, I ran myself ragged to fix the mess. I thought myself no longer the same person as before. I'm glad for this chance to look back on my past in this way. Come now. We should go.
So, where are we heading?
Oti Mall. There are bloodhounds stationed along the way, though. It might be better to take a quieter route.
I don't mean to meddle, but I'd advise you to stay away from that place.
Did something happen?
There isn't any concrete information yet, but anomalies have been reported around the area. The family is currently investigating. You okay?
I'm fine. The Stellaron incident may have been quelled, but who is to say that nobody has another agenda? Thanks for the tip, sir. We'll make a detour. May you stay safe, too.
Hold on. Sweet dreams are technically safe, but it would be wise to look out for oncoming.
Thank you.
Whew, that was no ordinary passerby. It's a miracle that he didn't see through.
The Astral Express should have departed a long time ago. We needn't change our plans because of him. But be sure to keep your guard up. I hope nothing terrible has fallen upon. Come now. It's time we set off. Let's not stick too close to each other, just in case. A few feet or so between us will do. Seems I let my wishful thinking get the best of me.
I will, but put your hands behind your back and answer my questions in short sentences.
Short sentence?
I need to make sure your words aren't concealing any danger.
I can't believe I've left everyone with such a peculiar impression of me. Please, believe me when I say that I didn't come back here with ill intent. Penacony will...
I'm afraid I won't be taking your words at face value. Not after how you will answer me. What are you...
It looks like there's only one way to gain your trust. Come on out, 1 week. We found...
So, it was the IPC that freed you.
My sister has likely made an agreement of some sort with them. As for how I'm able to move around freely in Penacony, as you can see, I've only returned to my home to bid it farewell. Would you be kind enough?
Agreed. But, until you leave Penacony for good, I left my home in a hurry too. I know how it feels. That said, I can't make this call by myself.
The Astral Express crew is in...
Come with me. We'll go find them.
Okay, okay.
We're here. They should be somewhere nearby.
Mr. Yang, if you don't mind, now that the crisis on the planet of festivities has been averted, shouldn't the Astral Express have departed to continue on its trailblazing journey? Could it be that someone stirred up trouble after I left?
And if that were indeed the case?
I doubt I'm in any position to be proposing ideas, but I'm happy to defer to the Nameless and aid with any plans you may have.
There's no need to worry. All is well in Penacony. Our reason for lingering here is a certain unusual passenger.
A passenger?
The Express has been commissioned to send a passenger back home. We're just resting up in Penacony for a while before we depart.
By passenger, do you mean this lady here? These ladies?
This...
You're finally here, Mr. Yang.
Isn't it fascinating how variables never fail to find their way into the lives of organic... I have no interest in the Harmony's celebration, so it's only natural for me to turn down the invitation. But it looks like my decision also... I hear that the Astral Express has established a collaboration with the Garden of Recollection for your next day. Could there be more to it? Logic. The average Pathstrider wouldn't leave any trace behind in the Garden of Recollection's mirror. It's a pity we do not communicate much within the society. Not to mention we've lost most of our members to the Lord of Silence. I have never heard of Amphorius, however. That Foxian girl has indeed been through an unimaginable turn of events. So, is it out of goodwill that the Astral Express volunteered to... Looks like this is one exceptional passenger.
So, is anyone gonna tell me what's going on? March?
Oh, about that. You don't have to... walked around with Miss Ting Yu.
Did something happen in the dreamscape?
Actually, it's more like it was someone's fault. We met a Pepeshi filming a Try Not to Laugh challenge.
So that sort of try not to laugh challenge.
I didn't really want to do it, but he insisted.
What happened?
Oh, come on, stop interrupting. So, we had some Miss Ting Yun ate the candy too, but she only sneezed nonstop. Achoo! Achoo! Sneeze after
What's...
The dreamscape is a Memoria world. It is likely the candy triggered her. There is no cause for concern. We've experienced similar incidents.
Mr. Yang?
It's okay. You can reveal yourself now.
I was only being careful. Or we would have been... Help me remove my disguise.
It's been a while, everyone.
You! What's...
Everyone, stay calm. I'll explain. I believe that at this point, Sunday has no reason to be dishonest. But to Mr. 1 Week here is an old acquaintance.
Pleased to meet you, fair lady. And you, of course. You're the heavyweight who pummeled this control freak.
The surprises just keep pouring in. First there was Miss Acheron, and then Miss Ting Yun. Why does it seem like Mr. Yang always comes back with some extraordinary...
Let's leave this discussion for later. For now, we should be focusing on returning Miss Ting Yun to her.
That's not gonna be easy. You'll see what I mean, Mr. Yang.
Miss March 7th. It's me! I'm the one who wants every Ting Yun to come together to... How often do you get the chance to work with yourself? Just imagine how I know we can't leave the dreamscape to trade with the outside world, so that's where you come in, Miss March 7th. Your wits surpass many other...
There. Now...
There does appear to be an...
Hey! You better not be referring...
Mr. Yang mentioned the Express's next voyage is to send a passenger back home.
Yes, more specifically...
The Law Fu. Didn't the Antimatter Legion launch an ambush on the Law...
Quite the contrary. She might have been the person closest to the island.
Looks like...
story for another time. As host...
I don't have much to go on now.
That sounds nice. People never forget. But then again, gifts should be lasting. What about a delightful new bouquet of flowers on the table each day? That sounds like a good idea. If we really want to do this right, though, it's the thought behind the gift that truly matters.
You sure have a way of not...
These 3 Ting Yuns don't look like they'll be...
So, what do you...
Let's try a different name, my dear
Oh, don't we sound chummier that way? I took a leaf out of this Foxian girl's book.
The problem with Miss Ting Yun is just as I suspected before. That prank shattered, in other words. It means the Ting Yuns we see
Okay.
At any rate, this is a known occurrence across the... The only problem is that these Miss Ting Yuns are too caught up in their own world.
One that we can sud. It may take me a... This Miss Ting Yun...
looking for me? Oh, were you all looking for me?
Found her! If I remember...
It's nothing special, really.
She ought to meet your one we can properly...
Worth a try, my lady. If I may, I wish...
Before you start, you should know that...
It is not my intention to provoke you. Perhaps, as assurance, we can have my friend here perform...
That is true.
If you still have concerns. We were also free to restrain...
There's no need for that.
Are you all right with this?
I go as the wind blows, so you may decide for me.
Then kindly forgive our intrusion.
What the... Did any of you hear a voice just now?
A voice?
Never mind.
Look! It's working!
Never did I expect that every encounter with you would always be in moments of distress. Did I conduct myself improperly?
Miss Ting Yoon, you're finally back. You may be small, but you're pretty amazing. Huh?
It's nothing. Just a...
What do you sense?
I should have let you handle it yourself. This girl is not as ordinary as she appears. I nearly died. Just now.
Don't be afraid.
What?
No matter what you see, you only need to remember one thing. You're not alone.
Who are you? And is that where I came from? And where did... That looks so familiar. Does she want to lead me somewhere?
The life support pod is ready.
That's great.
You're still trying. There's no prep.
I'm not a genius, so I don't understand the logic behind it.
Excuse me. This girl.
Hingyun. Don't question it. Keep moving forward.
It's you again. Who's talking to me? These
are wounds left by the destruction. They have taken root within your body.
The destruction? Please, who are you?
I can't go to you. All I can do is wait.
You want me to go through here?
There's no need for that. It's too dangerous. And you can't do it, and don't fight it. Embrace it. Try to coexist with it. Think of it as...
Is this called... coexisting?
Don't worry. As I said before, you're not alone.
Till I will protect all beauty.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Let's seize this fine moment. Dream vanished.
My guiding light. Beauty is eternal.
I'll see you off.
Destined for oblivion.
Unite our goals. Let's share good fortunes.
Wretched and fleeting.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Protect all beauty.
Playtrough. Bloom. Eternal state.
And return!
Have we met? Unite our goals. Dreams of a past. Let us dance once more.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
How can it be? Why are there still so many of them? The ones from before weren't defeated either?
As I said before, you can't defeat them. No one can. You can fall into the darkness and die alongside, or bring them with you when you return to the world here.
Return to the world? What are you saying? No wonder those two... Am I just a wandering spirit now?
Close, but not quite.
So... I'm trapped between life and death?
You can think of it that way.
Based on what you said, even if I should wake up, these wounds that caused my death will remain on my body and never heal? I don't understand. You appear to be...
It's a habit of mine. I believe everyone should have the right to choose whether they wish to return to this world or not.
Be that as it may, I don't remember anything. There's nothing to help me make...
That doesn't matter. I believe the desire to live was born from nothing to begin with. You may also prove yourself to be the exception. I would also be pleased with that result. troublesome. But survival or destruction is no longer a choice for you. They both now grow along the same path. And only by walking this path will you break through the darkness and arrive at my side. Feeling more awake? Congratulations. You attained your very first... Let me explain. You were attacked by a Lord Ravager. By all rights, you should not have survived. But someone didn't agree with that assessment. And it just so happens, I was able to fulfill his request.
What about the other merchants?
I don't know.
Why me?
Because you were the most unfortunate. You fell into the hands of that Lord Ravager, who destroyed your body and spirit. Yet, you were also the most fortunate. Her desire to claim everything about you for herself meant she needed time. There is only a fine line between resurrection and escaping death. Yet, they couldn't be more different. If you had truly died...
My body... feels...
I'm sorry. I can't let you regain your ability to feel just yet. You'd be in excruciating pain. Your body was contaminated by the destruction and suffered severe damage. As I said before, to prevent its resurgence, I made some minor modifications to your body. You'll have to learn to adapt to it. Unfortunately, the inescapable price of survival is often more adversity.
Regardless,
There's no need for that. This was merely a transaction. With this, the debt between the traveling merchant and me is clear. Don't worry about it. You should sleep for a little longer. But I'll arrange for someone to send you home. Which reminds me, you seem to have some dependable friends with close ties to you. You should go with them. It can only help with your recovery.
Are you...
Did I pass out?
The tuning rebounded and affected 1 week instead. This is no ordinary woman.
I suppose there's no point in hiding it from you anymore. Miss Tingyun is originally from the Xianzhou. She had an unfortunate encounter with a Lord Ravager who robbed her of her identity and left her on the verge of death. While she miraculously escaped with her life, her body...
But something happened to change that out?
Yes, a genius got involved. She's very accomplished in the field of... After that, she asked the Express to escort Miss Tingyun back home. We made a stop at Penacony along the way, partly to allow her some time to convalesce.
I'm so sorry. I thought no one would be affected.
That's alright. So long as nobody was hurt. Can I get something to drink?
That's fine. We should find another place to talk anyway. Weedrews.
Soul glad again. I'm a local, you know.
You'll have to make do.
In any case, I must thank the both of you for...
It was nothing. Now that the matter with Miss Tingyun is resolved...
There's no need for that. Mr. 1 week is in poor condition, so let's wrap up. I'll leave Miss Tingyun in your hands.
Huh? But, Mr. Yang, the messenger from the Xianzhou is almost here.
I trust that you can handle it. Besides, Himiko will be there. She'll be able to handle any decisions.
Okay, we better hurry. Ridiculous! How come I keep bumping into colleagues? This is ridiculous! How come I keep bumping into colleagues? going then? Did you forget already? Miss Ting-Yoon is...
I'm not too familiar with this planet. I'm worried an unscrupulous cutthroat merchant will try to take advantage of me. Luckily, the people I want to buy these gifts...
As if a merchant could...
No, I already picked up a few gifts earlier. So that means there's only 3 more left to go. But we've already lost a lot of time. So we better not drag our feet.
Welcome. How can I help you?
Hello there. It's my first time visiting the Dreamscape, so I wanted to buy some local specialties as souvenirs for my friends back home.
Why, you really know how to flatter. Go ahead. Browse.
First we have Lady Fuxuan of the Divination Commission. Lady Fuxuan has such refined taste. The Xianzhou. Let's go with your suggestion. Next is General Jing Yuan. Come to Clock Studios theme park to learn more about the history of the planet. Finally, we have Lady Bailu of the Alchemy.
Both wings and horns?
That's a good idea. It might be commonplace, but it's still a specialty of That's all of them. Thanks to both your help, everything went...
Why don't we pay another visit to the Dreamscape sales store? You can find memory bubbles pretty much anywhere.
A souvenir for myself. That's stuff. But there's one more thing I wish to do. Since this is our last stop, could I have a word with you? This is a good...
Miss Ting-Yoon?
You've looked out for me during our travels together these past few days, but there are some things I find difficult to forget. Do you too still remember?
How could we forget? He was so shocked. He was frozen in place when he shouted.
And that's precisely why I haven't been able to shake off this strange... When I asked for your names, I couldn't help but think that this... I've heard about what happened to you on the Xianzhou. And...
Yeah, we couldn't even tell when you were replaced by Phantilia. I figured it happened when we were after Kafka. You vanished for a while.
But that thought has me filled with sorrow. That's what I've been puzzled about, too. What was your impression of that? That part is true. I'm always calculating what... So, what did... Oh, is that a compliment? I'm not... Was there... anything...
Now's not the time for the...
Now in your eyes, am I just like the Ting...
Wait, don't you find that question a bit weird? You're the real Ting-Yoon.
Miss March, you might have the wrong idea.
Uh-huh.
As a merchant, staying well-informed is crucial. It's only natural for me to stay updated on the events of the Luofu. If I had rushed in and out back then, I wouldn't have been much help. Instead, I would have postponed the trip and sought assistance from allies, but in that case...
We wouldn't...
Exactly. Based on your description, that Lord Ravager was indeed cunning. Her demeanor mirrored mine, so I regret missing out on your Xianzhou journey. But everything that unfolded, Phantilia had stolen a piece of my life and a Foxian always gets even. But after thinking it over, the only thing that could be considered, that thought has brought me great comfort. We've never even met before, and here you are, offering your help, just as before. I should have treated you, and now I will reclaim everything I have lost. Dear benefactors, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. Looks like we're off to a good start. And you, my dear benefactors, will be my source of—
Miss Tingyun, that's way too over the top. Just don't make any risky decisions.
We'll see. I just hope the Tingyun in your memory— All right, no more questions. I hope I didn't take up too—
A dream about Eve. Welcome to the...
We're looking for some—
Just a friend. That being said, there are always, the story unfolds in the Xianzhou Alliance, where a young sword master strives to become the sword champion.
Why does that sound—
Since I'm returning to the Xianzhou, I think it's better to choose something unrelated to the Alliance. Feel free to pick—
I love customers like you. So easy to...
So easy to take advantage of. You just don't pick anything weird.
Oh, speaking of dreamscapes, after troubling you all this time, I couldn't leave without properly expressing my thanks.
Wow.
Here are the dream bubbles I prepared for you. Thank you for your business.
Well, it looks like everything's finally in order.
A dream.
I can't believe it's time for Miss Tingyun to leave. I'm not ready to say goodbye just yet. Yeah, we got delayed on the way. Has the messenger from the Xianzhou...
Long time no see, everyone.
Madame Yukong?
I've imagined this moment many. I was worried I might embarrass myself in front of you. I even rehearsed. But now it seems it was unnecessary. Tingyun, I'm here to take you home.
Madame Yukong, I wasn't—
I wanted to come because, after all, it's you.
Yeah, me of all people.
Your body. It's going to be tough from now on, isn't it?
I've already escaped death once. What more could I ask for? Also, it's not all bad. I might even beat you at arm wrestling now.
You're still the same. Carefree as always. I have a lot I'd like to tell you, but I'll save it for the road. Even if we can't completely rid you of the pain, there must be ways to alleviate it on the Xianzhou.
I have no doubt. Do I really have to go back to the Luofu?
Why? You...
Despite Fantilia's ruthlessness, she spared me when I should have been eliminated. And why did Miss Ron Mei, who has no ties to the Xianzhou, go out of her way to save me? It seems as if I've become a pawn in someone—
There are people within the Alliance who also believe that the suspect is now on the Yuchua.
If that's the case, it's all the more reason for me not to return to the Luofu and complicate things. I might have—
Take advantage of the situation.
Right now,
The marks of ruin inside me maintain a delicate balance. Moreover, they were created by Phantilia herself. If possible, please inform the General and arrange for me to meet with the Marshal.
When Ron May visited the Law Fu earlier, she mentioned what happened to you. The Arbiter Generals concluded that Phantilia did not intend for you to survive. If utilized strategically, this could give the Alliance an element of surprise. If we follow this plan, we must keep your resurrection hidden. But before making any decisions, I want to know what you think. If you wish to go, I'll support you, no matter what others may say.
Then I'm glad. I shall save you the trouble of hearing.
The road ahead is perilous. If you decide to take it, I won't stop you.
I've come to see myself clearly in this dream journey. Perhaps it's what people call a blessing in disguise. There is someone who can attest to my true intentions. Please follow me. She should be around here somewhere. After a strange encounter, I was fragmented into multiple Tingyuns, each embodying a different aspect of my memories. And one of them hasn't returned to me, because she ventured too far.
You mean her? What is she doing?
She's captivated by something that, as a fleeting emotion, she's no different from a newborn. Her boarding this ship was solely down to her. Madame Yukong, do you remember? Perhaps that was just an ordinary flight for you, but that was her first experience.
Back then, you were still young enough for me to carry.
You probably still can. Just kidding.
I remember you kept begging me to take you to the star skiff, and even dreamed.
This flight was a turning point in my life. The boundless cosmos unfolded before me. In this world, there are paths beyond waiting. Even though I lacked the talent to pilot the star skiff and wasn't much, even to this day,
That hasn't changed.
Never. Now I can embark once more on my journey as a traveler of no return. Speaking of which, how are things with the Whistling Flames?
I've left Yan Ming in charge for now. He's reliable, but he can be a bit extreme, and might not always follow your principles as a traveling merchant.
My principles. Forsake what others fight for, and take what others abandon. That's the way to navigate the world and achieve my goals. I will But now I've also learned that while these merchant principles may apply to humans...
But this shouldn't fall on your shoulders to begin with. You are simply an innocent survivor in this war.
Madame Yukong, you were once a survivor in the war too, weren't you? In a hazy dream, I vaguely remember someone telling me, Madame Yukong, the gods use humans as pawns in their cosmic game, sacrificing countless innocent souls. Have you ever thought about making them pay?
Every moment of every day. But as inconsequential as we are, how can we escape the fate of being mere pawns? If I could choose, I would never want you to become a pawn. I just wish you could still be that carefree little fox. Not caught up.
Don't be disheartened, Madame Yukong. Thanks to the favor of the Lord Ravager, Remember, it's often the unassuming pawns, the lone traveler, or the worm that subdues the dragon that leave even the best. So, now I'll become a cunning speck of dust. Sneeze a few times.
Is this place also affected?
No, I'm just here to bid farewell. So it shouldn't matter if we add another.
How did you know she would be here?
I didn't. I had a hunch and decided to try my luck.
It's not like you to leave things to luck.
I'm trying to change too.
I don't think you need a bystander in this scenario. Go on ahead.
You're not worried I'll take the opportunity?
I believe you're the kind of person that has the ability and desire to use everything to you. Now then, Mr. 1 Week.
I'm not leaving.
Let him stay. He won't be in the way. I actually need 1 week to be there. She shouldn't be seen talking to a fugitive.
You don't
Both parties don't have to be aware that this is a farewell. I shouldn't put her...
Shall we go then?
Let's go. Our journey can't begin if I can't take this. I didn't expect to see you here, Miss Robin.
My name is 1 Week. I'm a member.
You're too kind, Miss Robin. You must be very busy. What brings you here? Well, perhaps the dreamscape is not so different from reality. When we look up into the night sky, the stars aren't really there. The glimmer. So, have we ever truly seen a real sky full of stars? No. Today is my rest day. There's going to be a show later, so I came early to find a good seat. It's somewhere farther away. They say it's a farewell performance. Miss Robin, may I stay here with you to gaze at the stars? Still, these stars are unfamiliar to me. I don't recognize any of them. Perhaps it's both. The Stellaron disaster may not have had any real consequences, but many guests still chose to check out. Now the hotel feels quieter than before. It makes me wonder what Penacony's future. Did the person you wanted to say them to leave? Sometimes, what's in your heart doesn't need to be dressed up in words. Maybe he already knows what you wanted to say. If you don't mind me asking, who is it that you wish to encourage? There are many such people on Penacony. Failure is like the setting sun to a dream chaser. It's something that happens every day. I believe they all have the willpower to start anew. Especially after receiving a smile from you, Miss Robin. Are you saying that's not true? Failure may be a good thing for someone like that. Being able to reflect on one's actions is a valuable quality to have. I hope so. A dream jigsaw. I see. I'm still inexperienced, so let's just hope we get lucky. It seems we've been blessed with... Another Dreamweaver probably left this behind. It's a habit for this profession. They hope to use these blessings as a foundation for the dreamscape. A day of peaceful repose. The second jigsaw piece. Is this a pair of wings, or... We should keep looking. It's done. Soon, I shall travel to those unfamiliar stars, none of which I recognize. But as long as you continue to gaze upon them from here, then those unfamiliar stars will one day be the place of our reunion.
didn't seem like a perfect goodbye.
It's enough. I only meant to stay quietly by her side for a bit. Why did you do those unnecessary things?
What things?
Those 2 notes. If someone finds them, they can be used as...
Huh. So you can do whatever you want as many times. I don't want to live with regret for the rest of my life either. We're almost done saying our goodbyes, right?
Yes. But before we leave, I have a question I'd like to ask you, Mr. Yang. I'm curious. Why did you become a nameless?
Why the sudden interest?
I always had a feeling that you would never give up on someone who needed help. After spending time with you, I'm even more convinced of this assessment. At this very moment, there are countless worlds above the skies still waiting for the arrival of the Astral Express. Yet you and your companions have chosen to trailblaze means to forge ahead. Yet you stop and spend precious time on people just...
That's not what I think at all. Besides, the Watchmaker also made a similar choice.
And because of that, he bid farewell to the Express and never walked among the stars again in his lifetime.
Not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if we leave the Express, some trailblazing paths will still continue. You can think of it this way. The title of Nameless doesn't belong to any one person. Each individual will have their own view of what it means to... The goal of my trailblazing is not the unknown world, but every living being who exists under the stars. In my homeland, the name Welt means world. It suggests that each person is a world unto themselves, and that we harbor as many possibilities as the distant stars. The connections I gain on my journey are what is most precious to me. This is my way of the Trailblaze, and the reason why I decided to stay here.
Why me?
Like I said before, I left my home in a hurry too. I know how you feel right now. I also know that a person will only be able to truly face themselves once they've decided to say goodbye. There was never a third person with us, was there?
I told you he'd find out.
I should have known nothing could escape your keen eyes. Since you already know 1 week's secret, there's no need for me to build up. Let's go. We'll head straight for the finale and take our final bow in this farewell performance.
I know you can hide your appearance, but trespassing on restricted family grounds is still a bold move.
Don't worry. I won't take too much time. I was a child when I first visited the Grand Theater. I remember seeing the light behind the curtains from here and believing it to be the morning star. When I returned here many years later as the head of the Oak family, I finally learned that the light...
Now that you've returned to the stage, what do you...
Prepare for my departure. I've always believed that a person's starting point should also be his last stop. Have you ever seen the elderly at the end of their lives? As they welcome their final moments, they invariably raise their hands. Humanity flaps their wings twice as they complete their journey. Once when they are born. I will say goodbye. Here. To the me of yesterday. I really hate this face. My expressions feel so dull and lifeless.
That explains why something always felt off about your appearance. The halo above your head that symbolizes the harmony, it's been missing since the moment we reunited.
It's true that this ring was bestowed upon our people by the heavens. But that doesn't mean it can't be thrown away. While I was in the gallery of thoughts, at the entrance of the dream, I chose to...
Why?
I am a fugitive, after all. I must remove any chance of being detected. Another reason is to feel pain. This is how I can cast aside all the blessings of the harmony and the order, and for the first time in my...
Is that also how Mr. One Week came into this?
No. You wouldn't believe the real story even if he told you. He was born from an accident. One that you're actually quite familiar with. It was that try not to laugh challenge. Quite embarrassing. I was roaming around as an ordinary person when I unfortunately fell into that Pepeshi's trap. The prank that fragmented Miss Tingyun.
Are you saying that he's a part of you? That's...
You could say he's another possibility of me. I too was once a child, with aspirations buried deep within. Over time, those... Maybe, if I had made a small change in my childhood, I would have... What a pity. Failing to become a better version of yourself. So, my final farewell will be like that of Miss Tingyun. And this also means that 1 week will vanish for good. Is there a possibility that you will be the... No. This is a foregone conclusion. But who's to say there won't be any changes? Maybe deep down.
Regardless of the outcome, you will have a witness. I'll be waiting for you in the audience.
Much appreciated. Now, shall we begin? Anticipating this possibility, you've really changed. In the past, you wouldn't have tolerated any noise at all. I'm about to embark on an unknown journey, where it will be impossible to maintain my orderly life. I will have to navigate unexpected surprises, much like today. You're not ready at all, are you? I feel unsettled, maybe even scared. Ever since I left Penacony, I could no longer control everything. Don't flatter yourself. You can't control anything. But isn't that how it is for most people? My fear of the unknown may be a weakness, but your presence has shown me that surprises aren't always bad. Meeting you has been a great help to me, and I'm glad to have discovered this side of myself. I also feel grateful for the opportunity to tell you this in person. I truly dislike you. What? Are you sure you didn't mean... I must admit, many of your qualities strike a chord with me. There are times when I want to joke around, freely express my thoughts, or openly share my dislike of a person. Or my fondness. I want to... Then go for it, Sonny. You always talk about locking the bird in the cage, but you're... Look at yourself. Besides discipline and hesitation, there's nothing else in your life. If you continue living like a slab of marble, you'll... But I won't become like you. I simply can't. I dislike people who are frivolous. It makes me uncomfortable to even emulate them. If I fail, I will still uphold my principles, such as decorum and stateliness. As for the harmony, my stance remains the same. Whether it's you or the paths, if what I once doubted, or even opposed, becomes the force I must rely on in the future, then this time, my true heart will guide the tuning. I'll leave it to you. What is this? Leaving your fate entirely up to a coin flip? This isn't like you at all. Do you lose your mind after being run over by the Express? Or... Failure is always the best teacher. To save more lives, you must first understand what they live for and what they die for. The best way to achieve this is through personal experience. You see? I'm already starting to make changes. Whether it's us merging or one of us disappearing, I'll leave the tuning to fate. And see if I can embrace all that I detest. Only then will I truly be able to walk among the living. But what if you can't do it? Well, that's out of my hands. It will just prove that I'm still the same person. The person who always disappoints his sister. Falling is just another name for flying. That's why I rejoice at my broken wings. Step into the mortal world to see how it truly is. Then, be born as a human and die as one. And with my last breath, I'll join the weak in reaching my hands toward the planet of festivities. Whatever identities I once had, it's not the gods who answer us, but ourselves from the future. I don't have much to say, but when telling jokes, be sincere. Don't sweat the details, and above all, don't... Never mind. Maybe it's better for you not to joke at all. No objections from me. This is so annoying. How did I become so dull? Well, despite everything, try not to be too hard on yourself. There will always be people who are sad. Planet of festivities, land of the dreams. I say goodbye to my home. Should one desire to leave the stage for good,
one must first step back onto the stage!
As expected, the trickiest thing is tuning yourself. These dissonant sounds are much too harsh. Hedge your bets on me. Echoes of the past need not fade away. Follow me to the stars. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it off.
Here is thunder.
I'll overcome the thorns. Or decked out farewell. This will watch over you and guide you on your path.
Time. Show no mercy.
Like until everything burns to ashes! Set to the seas of flame! Fight to land!
Is that
Her
it?
serenity is before me.
Set to the seas of flame!
Spend freely. maybe I'll take it off.
Disorderly noise.
Watch your head. This mortal form watch over you and guide you on your path.
Attack detected. Show no mercy.
See, Trinity is before me.
There's no time here.
Get thunder. Disorderly noise. Attack. Disorderly noise.
Burn to ashes! Set to the sea!
Disorderly noise.
Spin freely. Watch your head.
Attack detected.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it off.
Disorderly noise.
Hello, point. Doubt farewell.
Conflict is disorderly noise. Sink into a dream.
Follow my direction. Is that
Watch
it?
your head.
Initiate clean. Disorderly noise.
Heard the call. Serenity is before me.
Here. Get thunder.
This mortal form watch over you and guide you on your path.
Time for... Show no mercy.
Time has come. Let it be revealed. Is it inevitable for me? Spend freely. The dice bust. Or maybe I'll take it off.
Wisdom comes protection.
I'll overcome the Thorn and doubt farewell.
There's no time to lose.
Conflict is disorderly noise.
Is that it?
Noise is fading.
Watch your head.
Wait for good tidings.
Serenity is before me.
Like fun so never burn to ashes!
This mortal watch over you and guide you on your path.
This is more than a
Time. Show no mercy.
Disorderly noise.
It's on me.
attack
The dice
detected.
bust. Or maybe I'll take it off. Watch your head.
Disorderly noise.
Torment and doubt farewell.
Here. Get thunder. Uphold the true and
Set to the sea!
all things are part of the melody. Disorderly noise.
shall restore.
Until everything burns to ashes! Set the sea aflame!
Watch your head. The dice bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
This is fight to land! Attack detected!
Spend freely. I'll overcome. Noisy. This mortal form. Watch over you and guide you on your path. Noise is fading. Watch your head. Wait for good time. Conflict is fierce.
Show no mercy.
Doubt farewell.
Follow me.
Here. It's of no consequence.
Like fireflies until everything burns to ashes! Set the sea aflame!
Remedy is before me.
There's no time. Conflict is pitiless.
This mortal watch over you and guide you on your path. It's on me. The dice have bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head. Done.
Show no mercy.
Fight to land!
No dirt. Watch your head. Seek one and doubt farewell. It's of no consequence.
Is that it?
This mortal form. Watch over you and guide you on your path. Uphold the truth.
Show no mercy.
Spend freely. The dice have bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. The remedy is before me. Watch your head.
Follow my step.
I'll overcome it and doubt farewell.
Here is thunder. Noisy.
Watch your head. It's on me. The dice have bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Like fireflies to a flame until everything burns to ashes!
This mortal form. Watch over you and guide you on your path. Judgment myself. Departure.
Well, how should I address you now? Mr. Sunday or Mr. One Week?
Whichever you prefer. He's probably mocking me from inside right now. Thank you for accompanying me through all this, Mr. Yang. This farewell journey has come to an end.
What are your plans after leaving Penacony?
At this point, there's no need to hide things from you. I believe there's more to the incident involving this.
Are you suggesting that the Dream Master?
Don't worry. The Oak family was indeed behind seizing the Stellaron and resurrecting the fallen Eon during the Charmony Festival, and you've already defeated them. But Mr. Gopherwood once told me that all the Order's efforts were aimed at avoiding the same mistakes that the Harmony made. My guess is that the family from the Montour system must be involved. Unfortunately, too much time has passed to verify that. Penacony is just a small territory, and even the family heads with their authority cannot enter the sacred site of the Harmony and inquire about the true will of the Great One. In the worst-case scenario, if Xipe turned a blind eye, how could the strong defending the weak hold up? Mr. Yang, I just want to tell you this. The Harmony has more than one side. They can be the most steadfast ally of the Astral Express, or the most fearsome enemy.
Well, thank you for being honest with me. The efforts of the crew on Penacony were driven by the same concern. After all this, the Harmony and the Preservation will keep the situation on the planet of festivities in balance. With the momentum from the Trailblaze, more forces will arrive and Penacony will become a public space, and freedom is the only answer the Nameless can offer. I'm glad that
you and I both strive for a peaceful society, even if our reasons are different. And you've gone even further than I have. If not for our paths, perhaps you and I wouldn't be in opposition.
Don't sell yourself short. We're not fundamentally opposed. Otherwise, you wouldn't have shown me mercy in front of the Dream Master. This shared journey is my way of repaying you. After all, you are one of my trailblazing goals.
About that, you've given me many insights as well. Humans are the measure of everything, and no one is the sole savior. Creating a paradise remains one of my lifelong ambitions. As I move forward, I realize I must build it brick by brick. While I lack the will to trailblaze, nor can I become a true name. I admire your convictions. Perhaps what I need, more than asceticism, is knowledge. Therefore, after leaving Penacony, would you consider letting me come aboard the Astral Express and travel with you for now?
So this is why I brought him here. Mr. Sunday wants to join us on the Express.
I learned the most valuable lessons from my past opponents.
Well, you did get nerfed after.
Thank you all for your forgiveness. Perhaps I'll find the answer I'm looking for on this journey. Until then, I will do my best to fulfill my duty as a...
Now that our business on Penacony is settled, it's about... try?
No? We're... Indeed, this is only a minor ripple that no one will ever notice. So, you must also understand, for a genius, the importance of asking questions outweighs the importance of the answers themselves. So-called magic has its own set of principles. There are no mysteries in this universe that cannot be solved. So, all-seeing presence, I ask you this. What is divinity?
Ah, you're back.
Ah, welcome to the party car, Nameless. Would you like to have a drink? Right away. Here's a rustic. I hope you enjoy your time in the party car. This used to be called the meeting car, until my previous master came along thinking they wouldn't need an entire car for meetings among just a handful of Nameless. That's when my previous master made the decision to rename it the party car. I'm merely a drinksmith robot who has been doing his best to provide impeccable service to the Nameless for several Ember eras. Should I introduce myself again? I am an antique robot drinksmith. My previous master repaired me. I now work in the party car, mixing drinks for passengers. should mention that the conductor and Miss March 7th went up. Perhaps you should go and see them to save them.
Every time we meet, your memories get richer.
Sincerest greetings, as always.
Are you daydreaming?
Of course you have one. Aw, looking at this mess reminds Pom-Pom.
I'd heard noises coming from the ventilation. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's not go overboard.
All right, all right.
He seems...
Then...
Nah.
Which reminds me, March hasn't cleared it yet either.
Exploring...
You'll step out of your
Above all else, now that you know all of this...
Yay!
Since he has made his decision...
This haven of memories. Every touch, every moment.